Okay, so the movie I'm doing is No Country for Old Men and Antisocial Personality Disorder. Basically, the gist of the movie is there's a man named Llewellyn, and he's out in the desert hunting for pronghorns in Texas. And as he's hunting, he sees in the distance these cars, so he goes to investigate. When he arrives, he sees that it's a drug deal gone bad. Mostly everybody's dead except for one individual who is in a truck. He gives the individual some water, and then he finds a huge amount of cash. He takes the cash and goes back to his house where he hides the cash. And then he realizes that it's not safe. While this is happening, there's a man who was arrested for some one reason or another, and he was hired to get this money back from the failed drug deal. So he kills the deputy, escapes from jail, and basically goes on a hunt for the money. The money has a tracker in it, and so he basically follows Llewellyn across Texas and Mexico for a bit in an effort to get the money back. So he kills a bunch of people while they're being hunted by the sheriff. He eventually does find Llewellyn, and he kills him and takes the money because Llewellyn wouldn't barter for his life. He also kills Llewellyn's girlfriend, and so that's basically the gist of the movie. Is a manhunt of the hitman trying to find Llewellyn to get the money back, and they kill a bunch of people along the way. Okay, so anti-personality disorder, the exact cause is not known, but it's generally believed that it occurs at birth and can be influenced by several things, like growing up in a traumatic environment. That plays a large role. Abuse can play a large role, and injury to the brain. And some neuroscience has shown that deficiencies between all parts of the brain cause it more often than the problem with each individual part. People who are more at risk are men by quite a bit, and like I said before, people who were abused as children, grew up in bad environments, or injured. And as a result, it's extremely common in prisoners, with roughly 47% of male inmates having the disorder and 21% of female inmates. So some of the symptoms are lying, conning, exploiting others. You act rashly. You can get very angry and aggressive with people over little things. Fighting and assaulting, which goes along with the aggression, that is really common. Breaking the law, as I said before, many inmates have it, almost half, and so breaking the law is extremely common. Not caring about the safety of others and yourself. You don't really care for other people or yourself that much. You just kind of do as you please. You don't show remorse when you do something wrong or you hurt others because you don't care, as I said before, and since you do as you please, you just don't care what you do to other people. You've got to be kidding. Okay, people with the disorder also fail to meet money duties, so paying their bills, taxes, things like that. They are bad at showing up to work and having good work ethic. And they're also bad with social commitment and upholding relationships and fulfilling relationships. So the hitman in the movie shows many symptoms of anti-personality disorder, and there are quite a few examples of him showcasing this disorder. For one, he has absolutely zero empathy for killing people. He feels no remorse throughout the thing, and he just looks at it as a job that he's getting paid to do. He has no conscience whatsoever. He acts through instinct and for his money that he's getting for completing this job. And throughout the movie, he does whatever it takes to complete this job. So, for example, in one scene, him and another character in a gunfight in the middle of a town, and there's regular people everywhere, and he pays no mind to this whatsoever. He continues shooting at people, crashing cars, things like that. He has no fear or anxiety, so no matter, he gets shot, he gets in car accidents, and the entire time he just gets up and keeps on walking. He's not afraid that he's going to die or that the person he's hunting is a potential danger. He's just focused on finding the money that the man took. He's extremely violent, which is a large thing. As I said, he kills many people throughout the movie, destroys a lot of things, and he's really angry. But while he's angry, he's also calm and collected. He goes through these fighting scenes. He's extremely calm. He doesn't get worked up. He doesn't let his emotions get the better of him. He just goes through and does it extremely well. So some other scenes that showcase this is in the beginning of the movie when he's arrested. He went out of jail, so instead of waiting to, or trying to escape, at the first opportunity he gets, he kills the deputy who is guarding him and takes the key from him. He also goes to a gas station and just out of nowhere decides that he wants to possibly kill the worker at the gas station. So he takes out a coin and flips the coin, and he basically has his own set of principles where he lets the person bargain for their life, and if they correctly guess the coin cost, then he lets them live. Okay, so in my opinion, this is not a great portrayal of antisocial personality disorder. While the character shows many of the symptoms of antisocial personality disorder, I don't believe that his behavior is a realistic portrayal because there are lots of people with this disorder and they don't go around killing people, blowing things up, and all that. And obviously, a lot of this is done by Hollywood, but I just think they did a really poor job of portraying people with this disorder, and it makes it seem like everybody with this disorder is a murderous madman who goes around and just commits mass amounts of crime. Because as I said earlier in the video, a lot of criminals do have this, but obviously they're not going around and shooting people and burning things down and making people bargain for their lives and whatnot. So I just think that while he shows many of the symptoms, which is good in a way, it's just a poor portrayal of the disease and makes it seem like it's a lot worse than it actually is, and it's just not a great portrayal.